And we've gone through a bunch of different things. We've gone through the income moves, the credit moves, the safety net moves. We've gone through the spending moves, the cash flow moves, and the mindset moves. You don't have to do them all at one time, but if you just pick one a day, if that's all you can do, one a day, just focus in on them, you will be surprised if over time, as you improve yourself by 1% every time, you will have a massive difference at the end of 2026 from where you are here. Hey there everyone, welcome back Gen X fam and all those who want to learn from our wisdom. It is the first Monday in 2026. Happy Monday everyone. You've probably been thinking about your resolutions and things that you want to do and how last year went and how you want to make this year better. And maybe you were thinking to yourself, I got some goals that I want to reach and I want to get them this year. I don't want it to be like last year. But the fact of the matter is that most New Year's resolutions are done by the first week in February. Gone. People make them on New Year's Eve, first week of January, and then they just putter around, forget about them, get discouraged about them, and then they don't get anywhere with them. So, what I want to do is have a little conversation with you about not trying to bite off more than you can chew, but actually doing some micro moves, tiny little things that you can use to say, I got that resolution checked off. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. And this series of steps that I'm going to share with you is going to be about those micro moves, and I'm going to cover several areas, and within those areas I'm going to give you some tips. So let's take some time to have this little conversation, and I'm going to dive right into the first category, which is micro mindset moves. I always talk to you about this. It's like the self, the S in my smart money system. It's self-knowledge. It's getting the mind right around your money so that you can make the right money moves and sustain those moves over time. Because, you know, like, you don't want to be like the rabbit in the race between the rabbit and the turtle. Remember Aesop's fable? The rabbit and the turtle. The rabbit took off real fast. Ran out of gas, got self-confident, went to sleep, and the turtle was just making steady moves, and he ended up winning the race at the end. So we want to set our mindset up right so that we can win the race long term. And here's some micro mindset moves that I want to share with you. Number one, ask yourself this better question, this one better question each day. Every time you decide to make a move, whether it's toward your activities, your business, your spending, ask yourself this one question. Is this moving closer to my financial goals, or is it moving me further away from them? And I promise you, if you frame each decision with that question, you will begin to say no to so many things that are holding you back, and you will say yes only to those things that are moving you forward. That will begin to reshape your mindset toward one of success and progress rather than failure and obstacles. All right, number two. This is what I want you to do. You're going to open up your app every day and you're going to look at your bank balance and you're going to say the number out loud. Just say it out loud. Now you might be thinking to yourself right now, oh my God, I really don't want to do that because I'm ashamed of what's in my bank. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Because what we're doing with this is we're removing the shame around our balance. We're just going to look at the number. We're going to say it out loud. No judgment. What that's going to do is going to make you money aware It's going to keep you from hiding about a situation that may be existing. I'm going to give you another tip too. In this age of identity theft and fraud, it also keeps you tuned into your bank balance. I remember one time I caught something that came in from China through TikTok that they had swiped some money out of my account. If I wasn't in the habit of checking that balance every day, it would have got me. But anyway, we're talking about mindset here. That's just a practical side effect. What it does is it's removing the shame around the money, and it's allowing you to embrace where you are right now and be content with it. Be satisfied with it, not ashamed. Number 3, you're going to reframe your language around the things that you want to buy. So many times we see something that we like. Maybe it's an article of clothing. Maybe it's a toy, whatever that toy means. Maybe it's a trip, something like that. And we just say, I can't afford it. Rather than say, I can't afford it, use this empowering language instead. Say, I choose not to make this a priority right now. Or I choose to use my money toward a different thing right now. See, I can't afford it that's lack, that's scarcity. It's a feeling of I'm just not enough. When you reframe that to I don't want to make this a priority right now, you're just saying I'm choosing to spend my money in a different direction. That's more empowering, that's more proactive. So make that shift in your language. Next, you're going to visualize one future goal for 60 seconds every night. Just as you're going to bed, you're relaxed, you're in bed, just visualize that future goal. Maybe it's a new home, maybe it's a new car, maybe it's a new wardrobe, maybe it's a trip somewhere to an exotic location, one of those bucket list items. This is going to give you something real positive to visualize. Now, we're not just saying that visualization is going to be the be-all and end-all and it's just going to magically pop up in your life. But what it's going to start to do is just burn it into your brain and make it more real. And the more real it becomes to you, the more attainable it becomes to you. And you start taking action towards getting that particular thing. So, those are your micro mindset moves. Now we're going to move on to the next category, which is micro cash flow moves. These are things that's going to raise your monetary awareness. Okay, so let's get into this one. You're going to do a daily 60-second money check. You're going to just make sure that everything's okay in your bank account. Now this is like an adjunct to the mentality thing. So you could do this one way or the other. So you're just going to open up your account, you're going to make a check on it, and you're just going to make sure everything's okay. So in the first one I gave you, you were just reading the balance out loud. This next one is going a little in another direction, and it's just saying, I'm just checking, making sure everything's okay. What's going in, went in, that's supposed to. What's going out is going out, that's supposed to. All right. Next thing you can do is you can take advantage of these roundups. So a lot of banks offer you the opportunity to round up your purchases to the next dollar, and they just funnel that money into a separate savings account that you designate. This is a great way of building your savings. That's a micro move, but over time it can add up to hundreds of dollars by the end of the year. Okay, next you're going to do a weekly money meeting with yourself. You're just going to check in. You're going to ask yourself, well, how did I do this week? Did I stick to my spending plan? Did I take action towards my money goals? And you're just going to rate yourself. How do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? Was I weak in some areas that I need to do better in? Or was I strong in these areas and I can celebrate that in my mind, and maybe by doing a little something to celebrate that win yourself? Maybe treat yourself to something small. Don't go crazy. Just treat yourself to something small. Next thing, you're going to, in this micro money move, label the money before it arrives. Now, how do you do that? It's very easy. You can just use the broad context of my 70-10-10-10 rule. So you're going to take 70%, you're going to put that into your main checking account, and then the other 10s, you're going to put into a special savings account for your debt snowball. You're going to put the other 10 into whatever investment account you have going on. And you're going to put the last 10 into your savings account. So that's savings, investments, and debt snowball. Those three things, if you just do it that way, and even if you can't afford to do exactly 70-10-10-10, maybe it's $10 in the savings, in the 10s. Maybe it's $25 in the 10s. But do something for yourself every week and make sure that you're living at a set amount on your net take-home pay. All right, so those are your micro cash flow moves. Now, micro spending moves. This gets more into your allocated spending, the A in my SMART. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to, if you're a person who suffers from impulse spending, cravings, moves, pulls, those types of things, you're just going to pause on every purchase. If it's not something planned, if you're walking through the mall, if you're scrolling on Instagram, if you're watching TV and something comes on and you're like, ooh, I want that, pause. I don't care if it's a one-day sale. I don't care if it's just something that you gotta have. I've done this. I've paused 24 hours and believe me, that impulse wears off. And you think about it afterwards and you're like, wow, I'm glad I didn't buy that because I really didn't need that. That would have been another foolish, useless, unnecessary purchase that would have just taken me further away from my financial goals. So use the 24-hour pause before engaging in impulse purchases. Next thing you're going to do is, here's another micro spending move you can make, and that is choose one money leak per month. Don't go overboard. Just pick one thing and you can get this win this month. So for instance, what's a money leak? Well, it's a service that you're not using, that you're not benefiting from, that you're like, you know what? I'm spending money on this every month and I can get rid of it. Maybe it's a gym membership. That probably flies in the face of what you might think is wise. However, if you're spending $50 a month on a gym and you're not using it, that's wasted money. Get an exercise program for at home. That's a better way to use your money, and you can take that 50 and put it someplace else. Maybe it's a online subscription service like Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, those things. Just cancel one of them. If you're like, well, I can't do without all of them, just do one. And just go through your leaks every month. See how you can tweak one thing. And by the end of the year, you will have fixed so many things that your finances will really be fine-tuned in the course of that year. Just in a few months, you'll start to see a difference. All right, so the next thing that you want to do is you want to pay yourself automatically. This is a spending move you can do, and you can do this through your job. If you have a job, if you are an entrepreneur, you can set this up yourself. The main thing is whatever income you have coming in, you want to have an automatic transfer set up to a savings account or an investment account. And that could again be as little as $25 per pay period. So you're going to set up an automatic transfer in your main checking account to a savings or an investment account. Maybe it's your Schwab account, your Fidelity account, whatever, for investments, and you, like, every pay period, maybe every 2 weeks, maybe every week, maybe every month if you get paid once a month. However you do it, set up that automatic transfer to either your investments or your savings. And that is a way to automatically discipline your money and be intentional about it, and not be that person who's like, well, if I have money left over, I'll get around to it. Because here's the big difference. Rich people save and invest first and then live on the rest. Poor people spend first And then if they have anything left over, they save and invest. And that's why they don't save and invest, because they're not making it a priority. All right. So here's another last one in the micro spending moves that I want to cover. And that is use the cost per use test. What do I mean by that? Sometimes it pays to spend more money up front. And I'll give you an example of that. There's a bunch of cheap colognes and body sprays and things out there, a lot of cheap perfumes. And what happens is you pay this cheap amount of money, maybe it's like $20, $30, and you end up spraying so much of this stuff or using so much of this stuff because you need more to make up for the fact that it's lower quality, and you got to buy it more frequently. Whereas if you had just bought the one quality thing, just bit the bullet and paid the money up front, you would have found that it lasted you longer. For instance, with cologne, my personal experience with colognes is cheap ones you have to use more and it wears off faster. But if you buy a quality cologne, a fragrance, and you spray that one time in the morning, it lasts you the whole day. Another thing that I apply that with is my shower gel. So like I've tried different things. I've tried the cheaper things on Amazon. They're good. Like Amazon has a brand that you can get from them. It's like $5. But I found that Dove's moisturizing sensitive skin one is the best. You can use less of it and it provides a better moisturizing feel throughout the day. It feels more lotiony and things like that. And it lasts me a lot longer than the cheaper one because I'm using more of the cheaper one, less of that, and I'm having a better experience from it. So it's not always about the money. It's about the quality, which actually will translate to cost per use. Now, let's move on to some micro safety net moves, because a lot of people are struggling to build their savings. That's your safety net. So here's some micro moves that you can make in that area. One thing you want to do is set your intention to build that beginning $1,000 buffer. No, this is not enough. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to stand a little taller, you're going to walk a little straighter, and you're going to feel a lot more at peace when you know, I got $1,000 sitting in an account somewhere, so that if something happens, I at least have that to draw on. So make it your intention to set up that $1,000 emergency fund. And if you haven't, the micro move you can make is just open up a savings account with the intention of putting that money in there. Next micro safety net move you can make is create tiny sinking funds. Remember, sinking fund is a savings fund that you set up that you put a little bit into every month so that when that expense comes due, you're ready for it. So maybe that's your car insurance, maybe it's upcoming travel, maybe it's a car repair that you know is going to come due, like some maintenance or something, like tires, brakes, oil change, and you know that these are going to be coming due at a certain time. Just set aside money every pay period to go into that so that when that time comes, you have that money in there. And I already went over how to use a sinking fund. I'm not going to go into detail with it. It's just basically making sure that you divide the time period by your number of pay periods so that when that time comes, you have the money already there and ready to go. All right, the next thing that you might want to do is use this little hack, which is like a savings envelope where you can actually step up your savings. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the 52 weeks, and every week you're going to save whatever that week is. So in week 1 you're going to save $1. In week 2 you're going to save $2. In week 10 you're going to save $10. What that does is it builds your muscle as you go. It's not a shock to your system as you begin. And I'll tell you something, by the time this is done, and this is like an example of an envelope that I've used in the past, you have $1,378 by the end of the year if you stay disciplined with that. What you choose to do with that money is your business, but $1,378 is in the most painless way possible. You can set that up and have that in place. All right, here's some micro credit moves to get you going and fine-tuning your credit. And this goes in line with my targeted credit use principle. If you're a person who wants to use your credit card and you swipe it to get points, and there's nothing wrong with that. If they're giving away points and you're spending the money anyway, like on groceries or dry cleaning or something like that, why not get the points? So what you do is every time you swipe your credit card, you're going to have an account that you set up. It's a checking account, and you're going to sweep, you're going to transfer, maybe it's a checking or savings, you're going to transfer money in every time you swipe your credit card. Whatever that purchase is, if it's $21.38, you're going to transfer $21.38 into that special account so that when the bill comes due, the money's there and you can pay off your balance at the time that the statement comes due. This is a great way to keep you from getting into long-term toxic debt trouble. All right, next microcredit move is never carry that balance on a purchase. So again, this is in conjunction with the previous money move I gave you, which is transfer that money every time you swipe the card. Now, when the bill is due, you're going to take all that money that you transferred. It's not fun money. It's not something to look at and lick your chops about. It's designated for paying off the bill when it comes due. So never carry a balance, and you're keeping yourself from carrying that balance by transferring that money every time you make a swipe on that card. Okay, next thing you're going to do is rename your debt categories. You probably never have done this before, but you've got debts. And if you've listed those debts like I tell you to do, you can actually rename them into different categories. And that is either toxic or strategic. What's an example of a strategic debt? Well, that would be something that funds your education so that you get better at what you do if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're looking to leverage a skill set so that you can get an advancement at work. These are strategic debts. Maybe it's your mortgage. That's a strategic debt. Maybe it's an investment property. That's a strategic debt. What's a toxic debt? Swiping your card at McDonald's. Buying something that was on sale. Maybe you were doom scrolling and you saw something pop up in your feed and you're like, ooh, I want that. That's toxic debt. So just write the word toxic next to it. Trust me, it will reframe that debt in your mind and make you want to go, ew, I want to get rid of this as quickly as possible. Okay, so those are your microcredit moves. Lastly, we're going to come to our micro income moves. Now, what are those? These are the quick wealth builders. These are the things that are going to put money in your pocket, because you can only cut but so much. You can only squeeze so much juice out of an orange. At some point, you have to get more juice. So these are the moves you can make to get more juice. In other words, boost your income so that you can grow your margin and your wealth. Now, first thing you want to do in that area is track one skill that could increase your income. So what would that be? Maybe you're good at putting things together. Maybe you're good at organizing things. Maybe you're good with numbers. Maybe you're good with photography. Maybe you're a good artist. Maybe you're good at speaking, at doing any variety of things. Just start listing down all of your skills, right? And once you do that, we're going to go to the next micro move. And that is, ask yourself one income expanding question. And that question is, how could I earn $500 more this month? Or $1,000 more this month? Well, how are you going to do that? You're going to go to your list of skills and you're going to look at all of those things and you're going to ask yourself, am I good at putting stuff together? Well, maybe I could go on TaskRabbit. Let me turn my phone, my watch off, the alarm went off. Maybe I could go on TaskRabbit and put myself up there for putting stuff together, for doing things around the house, maybe fixing things, maybe assembling furniture, that sort of thing. Are you good with numbers? Maybe you could outsource yourself to another company to do their books or their accounting, something like that. Maybe you have a knack for artistry. Maybe you like to put things together and create crafts. Maybe you could create something on Etsy, a little store where you sell your creations. There's all kinds of stuff you can do out there to make $500 more a month or $1,000 more a month. These are the things that will really begin to boost you through the year. But all I'm asking you in this micro step is to just think about what you can do. That's it. And kind of put together how you can do it to make that extra money. Lastly, this is the time of year where a lot of us who have jobs or who draw salaries from our jobs and are in position to bonus ourselves, we get raises and bonuses. So what happens with a lot of Americans is this lifestyle creep. So they'll get a raise or they'll get a bonus, and rather than keep that margin, their life where it is, they now say, ooh, I can raise my lifestyle. So they'll go out and they'll buy a car, or they'll put more things on credit. And so what happens is, even though their income went up, their lifestyle just creeps up to meet it. So they never gain that margin. So what you're going to do is, instead of spending the money that you get in the form of a raise or a bonus this year, or even a tax refund, let's think about how we can put it to better use. Let's think about how can we save it to build our emergency fund? How can we invest it to grow our future security? How can we use it to maybe boost a side hustle or boost our education, our skill set, so that we can grow our income? How can we use it, maybe putting it into some sort of investment property? These are all things that you can do, micro moves that don't take a lot of effort. But if you use all of these moves that I've given you, and we've gone through a bunch of different things. We've gone through the income moves, the credit moves, the safety net moves. We've gone through the spending moves, the cash flow moves, and the mindset moves. You don't have to do them all at one time, but if you just pick one a day, if that's all you can do, one a day, just focus in on them, you will be surprised if over time, as you improve yourself by 1% every time, you will have a massive difference at the end of 2026 from where you are here. But say, hey, maybe you want some help putting this all together. Maybe you want some community. Well then, let me recommend to you that, number one, if you just want some suggestions on how to put these things into practice, go on my website, schedule a strategy session with me. That's free. I give that away to everyone who wants it. But if you also want some help because you don't want to do this alone, then I highly suggest you join my Money Hero Academy. In Money Hero Academy, you're going to get weekly sessions devoted to helping you improve your money skills. You're going to be meeting with like-minded people in the group who will help you grow yourself individually and grow your money management skills. They'll also have similar backgrounds, similar goals, so you'll all be pushing together, encouraging one another in this format. I will be there walking that walk with you, that whole journey, constantly ongoing. Money Hero Academy kicks off this Wednesday, so we'll be meeting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Get in the group ahead of time. I have bonuses for those of you who get in early. But that's it. So that's what I have for you in this particular video. Guys, put it into practice. Use it. If you take advantage of these micro moves, I guarantee you, you will see a huge shift in yourself and in your money as 2026 goes along. All right, that's it for today. You have a great day and a fantastic week, and I will see you soon.